Hi, my name is Paul Felder.
My name is Jacob Haley,
I'm Jules Gaskin.
and our topic is on drugs
We're talking about the indifference in drugs that affect people's lives every day.
and in the community.
And in school.
Hope you enjoy. You knew an addict.
Okay, so this was my cousin, and probably from about the age of 24 until he died at the age of 51, so probably about 27 years.
How did you or that person you knew end up in that situation?
Well, when he was young, his parents got a divorce, and one of the reasons they got divorced because his dad was dealing drugs, and his dad made a lot of promises to him so that he would choose to live with him, because back in those days they would let the child, if they were a certain age, choose. And so his dad was dealing drugs, so he had a lot of access to drugs, and then just over a period of time he got to where he was using a lot, to the point where he ended up in jail. So basically was introduced to him by his dad, and because of his dad's dealings with selling drugs.
Right. Question: did other people know that the person was an addict?
Not at the beginning, because he would only come and visit us, because he and his dad lived in St. Louis, and so he'd come down 2 to 3 times a year. And so at the very beginning, not really, but then just because different situations, how he would come into town, and the stories he would have, and kind of the things he would do when he was here, and the times he'd be gone, we kind of put it together and figured it out.
Did someone else you know or the person you knew were on drugs and did they try to get help?
As far as I know, he never tried to get help, because again, he didn't live down here. He was living up in St. Louis with his dad, and he was actually moving into also selling and distributing drugs as well, so he just kind of kept that lifestyle the whole time.
Would that person go back to drugs if they ever could?
Well, he died, and he did. He spent time in prison, and when he got out, he tried to stay clean for a short period of time, but then he went back to finding ways to get drugs and things like that. So he did go back.
Do you believe any drugs should be legal?
I have seen medicinal marijuana used. Now, I don't know if it should be legal in this form where you can smoke it, but they can make a gel out of it. And I've seen people that have major seizures take like 2 drops of this gel, and then all of a sudden they are perfectly fine and able to live their daily life doing what they need to do. So I do think there is a place for a process type, in other words, it's not in a form most people would just do it for recreational use. So I do, of course, you got morphine that we used for pain and things like that. So I do think there is a place for certain types of drugs to be legal. Now, for recreational use, I'm probably not too on board with that.
Yeah. Next question: did the person you knew get in trouble for using drugs?
Yes, he spent about 17 years of his life in prison. So pretty major.
How did the drugs affect your family, his family?
Well, it made him, the times he was here, it made him, hard to trust, and, made people a little suspicious of him, and, every once in a while certain things would kind of happen that were unexplained, and so it just kind of pointed to him, but no one really wanted to do anything because he's family, so, but it made him just where it was hard to, trust him, and therefore really hard to kind of have him around at times.
And they knew he was on drugs?
Yeah, at that time, yes.
Did he hurt anybody while he was on drugs?
Not that we know of. When he was here in town, he never did. I'm not really sure what happened when he was, in St. Louis with his dad.
Did the person ever reach out for help and be denied?
He did, but it's kind of one of those things where he was incarcerated at the time, so it wasn't until he kind of got in trouble, and then he did, but then it's kind of one of those things where he was really deep in, and it was hard for him to ever really make a full commitment to it.
Were you in a place where you seen people with drugs or knew anyone with drugs?
No.
Okay. Did you witness anyone like in difference, somebody that was on drugs?
No.
Do you know about the difference in the community about people that are on drugs? Like, do you know what's happening to them?
I could say that not nobody personally that I knew, but the people that I see time to time that's like on the streets walking or whatever, they have an imbalance in their normal activities. Like
Nobody helps them?
Well, I don't know personally, but it looks like on a day-to-day basis, if you see them, you assume it's got to be something that they may or may not be on, because of the way they're acting. So a lot of times, if you see them like that, it's because it's something extra in their system. Loud, very outspoken with, their choice of words, whether good words, bad words.
What you mean, like, they
very
say things out loud that they're not trying to say.
And then they have an angry, some of them have like an angry attitude, like real aggressive,
And so you mean, like...
And some people pass it off as being rude. And that may be the case.
Why some people think there's something wrong and they don't want to help them or nothing.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Have you witnessed anything else that had a difference to do with drugs?
Not lately, no. But right now, the way it's going, you would assume it's an older crowd. Now it's young and old. And the young is the number of the young adults or teenagers even. That number has grown over the years. It's increased. It would have been probably like 10% back in the 70s and 80s. Now it's in the 2K, and it seems like I mean in the 2000 era, 2K era, anywhere from 2000 to 2018, the kids, I want to say maybe 12, I'm going to say 13, 14, because you don't know what goes on behind doors, so anywhere from, I'm going to say 12 up to about 18, because they are still school age kids. A lot of them are acting out in public, acting out in school, fighting, doing a lot of partying, drinking before time. So when drinking is included, drugs may be a relevant, matter that they have, a substance that they have in the system as well. So you never know. And how you know, grades drop, their attitude changes, and a lot of times, a lot of partying, sneaking, runaways. You have a lot of different factors that play in that, and it leads back to some extra substance in that child or adult's system that affects their everyday or daily behavior.
I see. So basically, because of that, nobody wants to help them or anything, and they just
nope. Because right now it assumes that if counselors can't help them, parents definitely can't help them, or parents may have turned their back, or let's say whoever's raising them turned their back because they were too, in their case, disrespectful.
Showing indifference because of them.
Right. A lot of times they may have had to include, whether it's young or old, extra force, which may be law enforcement, and some type of imprisonment or some type of community service or something dealing with the law. A lot of times people will turn their back on it because that has something to do with them being out of control. And if it's not contained, then, and they can't control themselves, then a lot of times people will turn their back because I can't help you if you like that, So, yeah.
I see. Okay.
All right.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I knew someone who was addicted to prescription painkillers, And that whole process of becoming addicted and then working through that probably took them about a year and a half to 2 years.
How do you think a person is situation?
The person that I knew had a medical procedure, had a surgery, and required some painkillers afterwards. And either through managing their pain or because they preferred the way the painkillers made them feel to the way they felt when they weren't on painkillers, they became addicted to them. And even after they had recovered from their injuries, they were still abusing the painkiller.
Other people
the person's family knew, but it took quite a while before anybody outside of that person's home knew that they had an issue. I honestly don't think they would. This person went into treatment for quite a while. It was a process that they had to go through, and it like a lot of people with drug issues, it made their life more complicated. It did not make things easy, and they've talked to me a few times about it. I don't think they have any desire to go back to that place after doing it again. Well, with this person, the person I know was addicted to, they were legal. They were prescription drugs, but I think maybe they started acquiring these drugs through an illegal way once they got really addicted. I do think that the effects of like marijuana on medical issues should be studied. Arkansas now has medical marijuana, and I think that's like any other prescription drug. If it's properly supervised, I think there can be some good that comes from it. But as far as just legalizing everything so you can just get it anywhere you want to, I don't know if that's the best idea.
Ever got in trouble with that?
I have not, but the person that we're discussing, they did. They had some issues arise at work because of their drug use, prescription painkillers, and of course, cause problems for their family and their home for a period of time too. Thankfully, that family came out of all that intact and not a broken home from the drug use, but it was still a painful experience for that family. I'm not aware that they did. I can't say for sure, but I'm not aware that the individual I'm thinking of has ever hurt anybody during that time. Yeah, I think if my memory serves me correctly, the family actually had an intervention with this person. They actually sat this person down and said, "We realize you have a problem, and we want you to get some help." And that's when that person started. That was the first step in kind of fixing it.